Hi everyone, it's the first video of the year and that means only one thing for me at the start of 2021. It's time for my yearly review. Now as a freelancer, it's really important, essential in fact, for me to set goals and reflect and plan for the year. If you're watching this video, you're probably interested in setting goals and, planning and all of that stuff. And that means that you are pretty much ahead of the majority of the population when it comes to a productive approach to your life. In this video, I want to share my 3-stage process to doing a yearly review and setting goals. And I've even got a Notion template to help us do it. Well, hello, welcome to Better Creating. If you've not been here before, my name is Simon and this channel is all about simplifying creative life. In this video, you can either grab a cup of tea, I'm very British, and chill, watch, enjoy, and maybe think about how you might employ or be inspired by some of this, or you could literally follow along, pause the video as we go, and do your yearly review with me in this video. I hope that can help some of you. I do it in 3 stages. Stage 1 is all about reviewing and learning from the previous year. Stage 2 is to visualize, get a vision and plan for the future, set some goals. And stage 3 is to implement and follow through with that plan. Now, when I say that you are ahead of the majority of the population, it is quite remarkable how likely that is. A great person called Jay Shetty, check him out, check out his channel. He talked about an incredible study which I think puts into perspective the value of what this kind of process we're going to look at today can have. Now, in 1979, some interviewers asked some Harvard MBA students how many of them set goals. 84% set no goals at all, right? 13% of them set some goals but didn't write them down. 3% actually committed their goals to paper and set about trying to achieve them. Now 10 years later, they interview the same group of people, this is unbelievable, the 84% that didn't set goals were earning half as much as those that did, so doubling your earnings and your potential for income from the same education. Even more astounding was that the 3% that actually wrote them down were earning more money between them than the entire 97% of people that didn't write them down put together. If that is not an argument for why this process is important and can be powerful in your life, I don't know what is. Let's start with stage 1, understanding the past to change the future. So here is my home screen on Notion, and this is basically my life planner, and I'm deciding to do my yearly planning in this. Now, as you'll see in here, if we go into it, we have a template to work from. You can do this on pen and paper, it doesn't matter, but if I can make it happen, I will share it in the comments below. Let's see how it goes. But I'm going to try and put that below for you so you can download it and use it if you're a Notion user. First thing we want to do is essentially reflect. Now, without identifying what has helped and hindered us in the last year, we're not going to be able to be as intentional in the way we set goals and plan to action the following year. First of all, what I'm going to do is list every single positive or every single win that's happened this year. And they can be big and small, doesn't really matter. The important thing is we just list them. It's a great thing to do, it's a celebration of what's gone well. But the most important part of this is to then write lessons that we've learned from it. If you're working along with the video, write your wins. Now you might find, like I do, it's useful to break this down into categories. My personal categories that I use are people and relationships, experiences that I've had, actions and projects I've undertaken, knowledge I might have gained, events that have changed things, and things and objects that have added value to my life. Here are some of mine. You'll see I've also put in categories into the template to help it work. And here are some of my lessons. Feel free to pause, they're just examples, but give you an idea. Then we're going to look at all the losses, so the negatives. This could really sting a bit, right? It's not easy, but it's often where the gold is. It's fine for us to be getting things wrong. We learn from those things. The mistake is when you're not admitting they're happening, because then you're not improving. So we're going to put down all of the bad things, the losses, the things that didn't go well, the negatives, big or small, into this box. And then alongside each one, I'm going to put the lessons that I've learned. So if you're following along, let's do it. Here are a few examples of me writing losses and lessons that I've learned. You'll notice I've also added health into the categories for this. Feel free to delete all of the negatives if you want, but hold on to the lessons, because the lessons are the things, that list of lessons that you have, they're going to be the thing that will guide how we then set our vision and our plan. So by the way, if you are joining in and working along with me, or if you're going to do this once you finish the video, hit that like button, let me know below that you're getting involved. Stage 2 of my process is to create a vision and a plan. As you'll see from my template here, I've divided this into a couple of sections. We've got vision, key goals, and then milestones for those goals. Now the vision, the idea of vision, visualizing what next year will be like, I'm taking my cue here from Gary Keller and Jay Papasan and their great book called The One Thing. What's the one thing that you can prioritize such that by doing it, everything else is easier or unnecessary? Now I'm going to get us to adjust that and think about what is the one amazing thing that you want to happen this year. Now I'm not going to hold you to it, you don't have to hold yourself to it, right? But what it does is it gives you that kind of sense of fundamental direction. If you're joining in, go for it. Pause the video, have a think. Now next, what we're going to look at is setting our 3 big goals. Any more than that, you're not actually being focused in your year. You may have heard of SMART objectives, quite a famous approach to setting goals, which is about them needing to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. Now that's very helpful, but I actually think for these big life goals, we don't have to be quite as specific as that. Now I would suggest, you can see in my template, they need to be scary enough and big enough that they are reaching for something, but equally they need to be achievable enough in your head and inspiring to you in that way that you genuinely believe you can make them happen. Otherwise you're just doing some kind of loose New Year's resolution that you'll never actually realise. I do think that first idea of a SMART objective is important. Are they specific? Do they help you understand how it fits clearly into your life in order to achieve it? You need to feel like it would be a specific thing that you're doing. I've decided to set a range of goals in different areas, so it might be about impact on the world and others, or some practical things you want to make happen, or it might be more personal and about your health and your relationships. Here are some of my examples, don't hold me to them. Now the next part of this stage is to finally set down 3 kind of sub-goals. I call them milestones. They're tangible, specific things that you see yourself achieving or creating or making happen that will be the steps towards that larger goal. Now they might be smaller parts of a project, whatever else it is, but the more specific and tangible these things can be, the better for you. What this layer does is lets that bigger dreaming come down to the goals which are kind of visualizable but huge, and then it breaks them down into things that you're like, okay, I can see those as smaller projects. That means over the year there's kind of 9 things, right, that you're going to try and genuinely make happen. Do it. If you wanted to go further with this stage, something to do before moving on to the final stage is to try writing down all the obstacles you think could get in the way of achieving each of these milestones, and then the solutions to them. So that might be people to find or connect with, tools or skills to gather, or actions or further learning that you need to undertake. It's one of the best ways that you can overcome things that seem difficult to achieve. Now we just have to put the plan into action. James Clear says in Atomic Habits, we rise to the level of our goals, but we fall to the level of our systems. As in, if we don't have a system in place to make it happen, when it comes to the mess of getting it done daily, if there's not a system, we're kind of going to be a mess. And I think that's why a lot of people's New Year's resolutions fail, or projects aren't as effective as they could be, because the systems and the actions and the habits that are put in place are not sufficient to reach the aim. I want us now to reverse engineer our goals, and particularly our milestones, into actions and habits. We're going to ask these 2 questions. What are the essential, practical, achievable actions you need to be doing to work towards the goal? And how regularly do you need to be doing them? So for each goal, I've got in my template key actions. So we're going to type those in or write those down. And then you'll see under here, we have a frequency, which is either daily, weekly, monthly, or quarterly. and that is going to basically be our guide to build our weekly schedule.
Here are a couple of quick examples of mine. Feel free to pause the video. You'll also see I decided to add a bi-weekly frequency.
The final stage then is for us to create a weekly schedule where we block out time to make sure we hit those key action points. And because we've reversed engineered it, it means that we know that these elements of time are going to allow us to get to those places. So that means that you're literally scheduling things like time off to socialise if one of your key goals is to be closer to your friends and family. It might also mean that you have put in a kind of a daily thing. So you're going to build a habit tracker to go, I'm going to make sure I can tick that off and hold myself to account to do that. Now, all of this stuff I am actioning through the system that supports me, which is this Notion system. If you've not seen it, you might find that some of the other videos on my task and project management system will be a really great companion to this process to help you realise that schedule and that kind of making the stuff happen. Well, if you found this video valuable, hit the like button, let me know in the comments below how it's gone, if you do go away and do it, and how it went. Loads more coming up, exciting things on the channel, including, for the Notion heads, recurring tasks to manage your life. Could be useful and relevant to this. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, turn the bell's notification on so you stay connected with the channel for more videos like this. Look at that. Around productivity, simple living, being a creative in today's world. Get off the device. It's time for you to get some fresh air. It's important. Okay, I don't know why I'm being so aggressive.